record. Okay. Perfect. Okay, amazing. This is being recorded. That's one of the most commonly asked questions in these trainings. Are these sessions being recorded? And the answer is yes. Sometimes it's super fast. Sometimes it takes anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, but I promise over the next 24 hours, you will get a recording of today's training session. For anyone who's been on advanced training with us before, we hold advanced training sessions every Friday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Typically, Irma runs our advanced sessions. She is absolutely amazing. And what she does is takes you through a complete overview. Of the editor. We really dive into the editor. We look at tips and tricks on how to optimize the platform, how to make the most use of the platform. So again, that's typically what you can expect in the advanced training sessions on Friday afternoons. Again, today's a little bit more of a unique training session because we've recently launched AI Twins. It's a huge feature. It involves a little bit of setup. It's a simple setup, but it does take a few steps. So we figured we would dedicate a few training sessions to AI Twins. And then as of next week, we'll be kicking things back off with our regular programming for advanced training sessions. So happy to have you guys pop back in. When we do send out today's recording, we're also going to include more of a traditional advanced training style so that if there is anyone on today's call that would like to see a training like that, again, we'll be able to provide that with you. And then again, we'll be doing that live next Friday afternoon. If there's anyone on the call today who is brand new and who hasn't had a chance to do their onboarding session yet, I would highly recommend signing up for a level 1 onboarding training session, just because in that training session, you'll do some really valuable stuff with Nick. He is absolutely wonderful. He will take really good care of you. He'll help get your persona set up all of your brand settings so that you're ready to create tailored content. We're not going to cover any of the account setup today during today's session. And again, usually advanced training sessions will dedicate more towards those advanced features, customizing tips and tricks and all of that good stuff. But again, the onboarding sessions are such a crucial part in setting your account up for the first time. So if there's anyone who's brand new, you'll still get a ton of value out of today when you're ready to dive into AI Twins. But again, just if you did skip over the onboarding session, I always like to recommend popping into the Join Live training and selecting level 1 onboarding just to get you started. I see a question in the chat. Where do you find it? I'll actually start today's session with showing you that. I'm just going to share my screen. Here we go. Can someone give me a thumbs up or just let me know in the chat if you can see the training? Or sorry, see the screen? Yes. Okay, perfect. Sorry, guys. Amazing. That's perfect. I see your thumbs up as well, so that is great. So if anyone is looking for the Join Live training button, when you log into your content calendar just to the left here, you'll always have the option to click Join Live Training. When you expand that button, you'll have two options. You can choose to join level 1 or 2. When you click on the type of training that you want, you'll be brought to the onboarding or the advanced training calendar where you can select the day and time you want to sign up for. I always like to click this button here, go to next available day, and then that'll just bring up the next available training session that's available depending on the type of session that you're looking for. So again, brand new users, highly recommend signing up for an onboarding session. Again, feel free to hang out with us today. I still think you'll get a ton of value here, but Nick will help you set up your account in a way that you'll be ready to really hit the ground running. If anyone is looking to sign up for more of a traditional advanced training session as well, again, if you click into advanced training sessions on the 8th, so next Friday, we'll be kicking things back off with our regular programming. Okay, amazing, guys. So I mean, for house rules, I think we've covered pretty much. We've covered everything really. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do have everyone muted just because our group is so large today. I'm just going to let a few more people in as I say that. But our group is pretty large today. I've got everyone muted, but again, Nick is here in the chat. So if you do have questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. Today's style of training will run a little bit shorter than our typical advanced training sessions do. So we'll make sure that there's lots of room at the end of today's session for live Q&A as well. And just keep in mind, again, we've got a full house. So if your question doesn't get answered in the chat right away, just be patient. Nick will work his way through as quick as he can. He's absolutely amazing. Again, he'll take good care of you. And again, just know that at the end of today's session, we'll have some Q&A as well. All right, guys, we are ready to dive right in. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of mix between presentation style training and then showing you live in the content calendar, just so that, again, I can show you guys what it looks like on your view when you're logged into your content calendar using the tool itself. So to get things started off, the first question, what is an AI twin? If you guys are on social media right now, just letting a couple more folks in, guys. But if you guys are on social media, if you're scrolling your feeds, you're likely seeing people in your network using this style of content. Essentially, it is a digital version of you created on our platform with two things, your headshot and a sample of your voice. And you can use your AI twin to create super hyper local content that positions you as a local thought leader, someone in your area speaking to live events that's going on in your neighborhoods for the audience that you want to speak to. So when you go to set up your AI twin for the very first time inside of RealEstateContent.ai, you're just going to want to have two things ready. You can check it out today, even if you don't have these two things. But again, to complete the setup process, you're going to want to have a headshot and the ability to either record your voice or upload a voice sample. So I'm going to pop into RealEstateContent.ai for just a quick second. So when you log into your account, again, this is what your view is going to look like. I've got some content on my calendar, so if you don't have any, yours might look a little bit blank, or if your month is full, again, yours might look a little bit different. But there are two ways to access the AI Twins settings page. If you have not yet set up your AI twin, if you click the Create AI Twin post here, it's going to bring you to a pop-up that just says, hey, your twin's not configured yet. Do you want to set up now? You can click yes, or you can drill right into the settings page. So if you click on settings, you're going to look for AI twin settings, and that's what's going to bring you into your AI twin settings page where you can complete your setup. Okay. Um, so when you're considering the type of assets that you are going to want to upload for the best AI twin or the best version of your AI twin, when it comes to your headshot, just a couple do's and don'ts here. So when you're considering which one to use, you just want to make sure that you're choosing an image that's clear, it's forward facing. If I pop back into realestatecontent.ai for just a second, a common question that we get is, oh, well, how can I make my AI twin look different? Maybe you're posting it once a week and you want to add in some variations of outfits or different headshots. As you can see in my profile, you can upload up to 2 looks. Now, the one thing that I'm going to mention here is that if you are considering 2 looks, I would just recommend making sure that your looks are different. So maybe you have a headshot and on one version, you have it on a brick wall and then a blue background, but you're in the same outfit, same hair. I would say if you're going to do 2 looks, try to give yourself 2 different variations. So maybe you're in a different outfit. Maybe you want to have like a casual t-shirt in one, and then maybe a blouse or a suit jacket in another, or 2 casual looks, different colors. Say if you have the ability to change your hairstyle. I know some of us don't, some of us do, but that's also another way that you can add some variety to your look. So either a different hairstyle or a different outfit. Keep in mind, these are good examples. So I didn't strip the backgrounds. I uploaded these images just like that. They have the professional background in one and just a room behind in the other one. When your AI twin is created, it's going to strip the background. So you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. Again, you want to be forward facing. So we've got some good examples here, and it must be the same person. So again, this question has come up this week a couple times. You've got the ability to upload 2 looks, but when you upload 2 looks, again, both looks have to be driven from the same person. So if you're creating content on behalf of a few different people, right now anyway, you can't upload different people into your looks. They have to remain the same person. Things to consider, again, when you are uploading your graphics, we've got some examples of headshots or photos that wouldn't be the greatest examples. So you just want to avoid using images of large groups. Of course, AI won't know which of the people in your group you are to grab your AI twin. Full body shots. This is something that we might look at down the road. Right now, we've gone with kind of that green screen style where you've got your talking head in the bottom right corner of your content. But we've had lots of questions around, can I use this for listing posts? Can I be walking around? Definitely things that we might consider in the future. But for now, you'll just want to use more of that traditional headshot style where it's cropped kind of bust up. You'll also want to avoid blurry images, avoid side profiles. Your AI twin is going to be talking. So if your AI twin's kind of facing a different direction, it could look a little bit awkward. And that's why, again, you're going to aim for that forward facing headshot. Okay. Um, Essentially, very, very simple. The more clear your image, the more true to who you are, is how accurate your AI twin is going to look in comparison to the headshot that you are using. So just a couple tips and tricks for headshot selection. And then same for your voice sample. So when you go to record your voice, you're going to have two options to get your voice sample in there. You can either record your voice right on the platform, which is probably the most easiest and simple way to get your voice recording in there. Now, if you have an audio file of your voice, you can also upload an audio file. In terms of your voice and just getting the best output possible, you just want to make sure that you're trying to upload or record a very, very clear sample. So you want to minimize any background noise, any distractions there, and just give a super, super clear recording. You want to talk at a pace that feels natural to you, natural inflections in your voice. These 2 points here, I giggle a little bit, but it's happened to all of us. You just want to make sure if you are recording your voice on the platform that your microphone is turned on, your volume is turned right up so that you do get that clear recording. Whenever you're ready to record, if you are recording directly in the platform, it's super, super easy. All you're going to do is you're going to click this little red start recording button, and you'll get a 3-second time countdown. And you can just follow along this script. You can quite literally just speak it out loud again at a pace and inflection rate that feels natural to you. What you can see here is just a good chunk of text here. We've timed it. I think max it's going to take you to get through this script is about 42 seconds, maybe a little bit less than that. But if again you wanted to continue, the more the better. If you wanted to continue that on, if you want to include some trigger words or words that you use quite frequently that you want to just continue to train your AI twin, you can absolutely do that. You can carry on. It doesn't have to stop here. You can make it a little bit longer if you wanted to. And then as soon as you're done recording, you'll just hit to submit your voice. And once you've got your headshot and your voice sample upload, your AI twin is going to start preparing a preview for you. So again, those are the only two things you need. Some feedback we've gotten, if anyone's a little bit intimidated by this feature, I will say that tons of our users have already gone ahead. They've set up their AI twin. And the feedback that we've gotten about the setup is that it's very, very simple. In terms of expectations for timing for creating your AI twin, it's not going to be immediate. Your AI twin preview can take up to 10 minutes, usually about 5 to 8 minutes, but you don't have to stay on this page. You can navigate away from this page while your AI twin preview generates. Again, it's going to go ahead, it's going to take a few minutes, it's going to give you a sample once it's all ready. And again, you don't need to stay here. You can navigate to other pages, you can generate different types of content, and then, of course, as soon as your preview is ready. So I'll jump back into RealEstateContent.ai for just a quick second. This is what your profile would look like once your assets have been collected and your AI twin has been produced. So this is your kind of view from a setup page. So you've got your looks here. You can do some funky things here. Like if you upload a headshot, you don't love the way it looks on your AI twin preview, you can always replace your look. You can delete a look and re-upload. You can even do that with your voice sample. So if you play your voice sample and you're not 100% thrilled with it and you want to erase and re-record, you can totally do that. You've got a little trash can here where you can kind of scrap it and start over. And then once your new assets are uploaded, a new preview will generate for you. Okay. So I'm going to pop back into the presentation here. Again, just showing you a couple different options here of what it's going to look like when it's done. But once again, your AI twin preview is ready. That just means that you are now ready to create your first AI twin post. If you're still processing, so your AI twin is still training and you get a little trigger happy, you jump into the content calendar and you go to create your first post. If it's still training, still processing, you'll just get a little error message just says your AI twin isn't quite ready yet, but check back in a few minutes, okay? Once you've got this preview, this is kind of your thumbs up, your green light that you're ready to create your first post. And to do that, you can do that right from the content calendar. Before we dive right into how to generate an AI twin post, I just wanted to take a quick second to speak to, I guess, more of the OGs that are on this call. You might be used to or familiar with the Create Trending News Post button that used to be here. That style of content has not gone away. It's been enhanced with your AI twin. So that's the angle we took. We definitely want to bring the AI twin to different components of the platform, potentially listings and educational content and that sort of thing. We just took this angle because this is what's working really, really well right now. It puts your face and your voice on local news content. So again, that local news, trending news style content has not gone away. It's just been enhanced. And now paired with that style of content, you now have your AI twin to help bring that content to life. So when you're ready, your AI twin is ready to go. You can click Create AI Twin Post to start the process. Again, very, very simple. It's allowing me to go through the flow because I have my AI twin set up. If you've clicked that button right now and your AI twin is not set up yet, it'll just route you to the settings page where you can start your setup. Um, to get started, all you're going to do is you're going to select the day that you want to create your content for using your AI twin. We do get asked, how often should I be using my AI twin? Could I post AI twins every day? And essentially, there's no limit. We just say like use sparingly. If you've been on advanced training with Irma in the past, she's all about variety. So when someone lands on your page, they're not seeing all AI twin posts or all carousels or all reels. This is a good way to bring variety to your content. So depending on what your strategy looks like, if you're posting, let's say, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe all of your Wednesday posts are your AI twin posts. So again, you can select the day that you want to create your content for using your AI twin. So for today's example, we'll just go ahead and select May 27th, and then you can select the platforms that you want to create your post for. The next step, you're going to choose your story. So you can see this little topic, sorry, your city bar here. This is where it's actually pulling your topics from. So my profile is set up that I service areas in and around Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Baden, St. Jacobs, New Hamburg. So all of the stories that you're going to see in my feed are going to be relevant to the areas that I'm servicing. If you want to step outside of what you've got filled out in your profile, this is an editable field. So if you wanted to just hone in on a specific subcity, or you want to step outside of your, how you've set up your profile and aim for a specific city, you can type in the city and then your topics will update based on whatever's there. So you can scroll through, you can find a topic that you want to create content for. So again, these should be local, current, community style articles that are sourced from the web. And now if you get to the bottom of the list, or even if you want to view a source, you've got this clickable button. If you want to see the article itself before you kind of commit to an article, you can click view source. It's going to open up the article for you just to kind of give a little bit of a once over. If you get to the bottom of the list and you haven't found one that you really, really like quite yet, you can click to generate more topics and it's going to throw in fresh topics for you, fresh articles. One of my favorite components of this feature right now is the ability to add your own URL. And again, we've had lots of questions like, I love this. Can I use it to, share a market summary? This is kind of your backdoor trick to do that. So again, if you get to the bottom of the list, you can add your own URL. So if your brokerage has provided you, with a market summary, it's in the form of a URL or a link. You could actually just click add your own link, insert your link there and click submit link, and it will add it to your topics and you can select it as your story. So that is a backdoor way that you can kind of drive what type of content you're creating with this. Again, if you have a link that you want to create content around, maybe there's a really cool restaurant opening up in your area, you've come across a blog that you really like, you can insert that link there and your AI twin post will be created using that link that you've submitted. Okay. Um, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to click into this one here just for today's demo, and we can go ahead and start generating the script. This should only take a couple seconds, and this is where you have total control of the voice component of your AI twin post. So again, we've had some questions this week with, I've updated my script, but my caption looks different. Just think about this being the voice component of your AI twin post. So this is where you can pop in, you can adjust the script. This is what your AI twin is going to be speaking in your post. So if you wanted to make a manual edit, you can just simply click edit script. You can take a word out, you can add a word. If you have a catchy tagline that you always speak into on social media, you can add your tagline to the end of the script. And then, of course, you can click save changes once you're happy with it. You also have the option to regenerate your script. If you just want a fresh look, you want a second glance at it, you can click regenerate and it'll just give you another spin on it. You also have the ability to include text overlay or not. And this is where I'm going to jump back to my presentation for just one quick second to show you what that setting means. So essentially, if you choose to add a text overlay, your post will be generated something like this. So something with a catchy hook relevant to your post in addition to your AI twin. If you just like a clean look for that triple stacked image and you would prefer to have your post create without the overlay and text, you would, of course, just keep it off. It's totally up to you. This is also a way that you can put some variety into these types of posts as well. Maybe, if you don't necessarily have a favorite setting and you like a combination of both, maybe you create one post with and one post without. Again, just giving you some variety on your feed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, toggle it on, and then you can go and choose your look. So if there's anyone on this call who dove into this feature as soon as we launched it about 2.5 weeks ago, this is a new step in the process of creating your twin post based on the feedback that you guys have provided. So now in the generation flow, you can actually get a sample of what your post is going to look like. So here's your preview. You can toggle between your looks if you have more than one setup. So it just kind of shows you what your look will look like on your post. You can toggle on or off hand gestures. So we've got some folks who are super animated. They like talking with their hands. They'll keep their hand gestures on. But again, we had lots of feedback from you guys that you'd like more control over hand gestures. Some didn't want them at all. So now you have a toggle. So when you toggle it on or off, it'll impact kind of how we structure your AI twin. And again, if you want to preview it, you can set your settings, click play. I'm going to mute my AI twin just so it's not super loud for you guys. But now you get a sample of what you can expect your post to look like. Keep in mind, the triple stacked image has nothing to do with what your post will look like once it's done. This is just a sample. Again, you're really sampling your AI twin here. Your images that are going to be generated with your AI twin post are going to be derived from the article that you choose. So if you chose, in Kitchener, I don't know if anyone lives in and around this area, but potholes are crazy. It's all over. We're just coming out of winter. Potholes are nuts. Everyone's cars are being damaged. So if that was an article I chose, you'd likely see some construction images, images of road surfaces and that sort of thing. So again, this is just a sample. When you're ready, you can go ahead and click Generate AI Twin Post. And now if you scroll down, my posts are being generated here. So we've got shimmering tiles. Again, your AI twin preview can take up to 10 minutes. These AI twin posts that I'm generating right now, they will take a little bit longer than a typical educational post that I'm creating, maybe a carousel or a reel. We're typically seeing the average turnaround time for these posts now in and around 5 or 6 minutes. Again, you do not have to stay on this page. You don't have to open up your preview and wait for it to generate. Just let it go, let it do its thing in the background, and you can continue working on. What some people will do, and I love this strategy, is that, again, if you're setting up your month so that all of your Wednesdays contain your AI twin post, you can go ahead, start this generation, and then maybe you pop back in, and now you go in for your next one. So you choose the next Wednesday on your list or whatever days you're creating this for. You go in, you select your new article, and then you generate that AI twin post. You can get 3 or 4 of them going at once. And then again, you're not sitting there waiting for one to complete before you can move on to the next. Okay. We will also, I'll just make a note, we're also keeping a very, very close eye on the timing of these posts. These are being generated using a third party program that we're using as well. So again, we're just in constant communication. Our goal is to continue to refine this, reduce the time that it's taken to create these posts. And again, we've got it down to about 5 to 6 minutes now. But again, something that we will continue to keep an eye on over the next few weeks and continue to refine as we build out this feature. Once your AI twin post is created, this looks very similar to what you've experienced with other types of posts. Um, Everything is customizable at this stage other than the script. Again, if we think back to that review script stage, that is the spot that you want to make any changes to the voice, because at that point, once we generate the video, this talking head video is generated. So we can't make changes to the script at this stage, but you can, however, make changes to your caption. So just like any other type of post, you could pop into the caption box, you can make manual changes, you can click to regenerate the caption. Again, this is completely different than the AI script and what your twin is talking out loud. But again, that's the written component of your post. So you can make changes there. And then also, in addition to the caption, you can change the background image. I haven't taken a look at the chat yet. I know Nick is working super, super hard to get to all of your questions, but this is one that we get a lot. Can I change the background image? And you absolutely can do that. I am going to pause my AI twin so it's not going wild on us. But here in the editor, you can make changes to the graphic side of things. So as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, you've got kind of this nice triple stacked image, which is really, really cool. We've had some questions like, we haven't seen this type of image before. Where did it come from? This is just really nice because as your AI twin post is created, these are not images from the library. They're unique to the post, unique to the article that you've chosen, and it's generated specifically for your post. This style of content where it's a triple stacked image, kind of that green screen style talking head image in the bottom right corner is trending really well right now. And that's why we went with this style of graphic. If you prefer a single image, we can totally swap that out. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So inside the editor, you can scroll through the library. Maybe it's a new restaurant that's opening up in your area and you actually have a really cool image of it that you want to use. You can even upload your own image and use that as a background. So whether it's an image from our library, an image from, your own uploads, all you have to do is hover over the image, click the three dots and choose set as background. That's going to replace that triple stacked image with the image of your choice from the library. So again, you've got that there. We've had questions, can I just swap out the triple stacked image? Not right now. Again, that's unique upon generation. Maybe something that we will look at in the future, depending on what requests are coming in. But again, if you do want to swap out a background, you absolutely can. You're just going to swap your triple stacked image to a single image of your choice. Okay. Other things that you can do to these posts, very similar to carousels and reels and all of those good things. You have total control here if you wanted to pop in, you wanted to adjust the text here, maybe you want to change the shape behind your catchy hook, the colors. You have total control in terms of customizing the elements on your post along with the background image. Just going to zoom around here. But again, if you wanted to change colors, you've got your brand colors and your quick click options down here. So again, you can customize. You can even add additional branding here. I don't think you need much branding, but let's say, you wanted to just maybe add something like your website. You could go ahead, toggle that on, and now you're bringing static text into your design. Maybe we want to pop that up here. Again, you can change colors, all of that good stuff. But again, just some ways that you can kind of customize these designs. You can also move your AI twin around. So to move the AI twin around, I'm just selecting it, I'm holding it, I can reposition. Maybe this came back and you're like, oh, just a little bit big. I want to, make my AI twin a little bit smaller. You can go ahead and resize, reposition however you'd like. Okay. Amazing. I am going to pop back out into the post preview here. Again, I just wanted to give you guys one more example. So as you can see, I've generated this with my text and overlay. I've got some examples on my calendar here of a no hand gesture. I'll just kind of make it big. So no hand gesture.
If you've ever dodged potholes on Ira Needles Boulevard, you're not alone.
And no overlay text. So you've got a couple different options for both of those. Okay. A couple questions that actually have come in today that I'm going to show or just kind of go over right now. We've had some users ask if you can repurpose this content for other places, whether you're sending it to someone directly or maybe you're uploading it to a platform outside of the ones we connect with. You can download your AI twin content as well. So three dots, download media, and now you've got this media that you can share or repurpose elsewhere if you'd like. Okay. Amazing, guys. I'm going to pop back into our presentation. Before, actually, I'll go through the key takeaways and then we'll pop into the chat. We'll chat to see how Nick's doing with all of your questions. And then if there's any questions that are coming up quite often, maybe we can kind of chat through them as a group. But essentially, guys, the key takeaways today, when you're setting up your AI twin for the very first time, you'll just want to make sure that you have a front-facing headshot, at least one. You can upload up to two. For your voice portion, recording your voice directly through the platform is definitely going to be your easiest and most simple way of doing that. But again, if you have an audio file or maybe you have an accent and you really, really want to make sure that your AI twin nails it, you could even record your voice in a third-party app. There's lots of free ones online. You can make it really, really long. You can use those trigger words. And you can upload an audio file as well if you'd like to. But again, if you're looking for simplicity, recording through the platform is definitely going to be the simpler of the two. Switching up your AI twin for variety. Again, you can have more than one look. You can use hand gestures, not use hand gestures, move the positioning. You can use your overlay and text as well, just to, again, bring variety to that type of content. And then again, how often should I be using my AI twin? There's no right or wrong answer here, but again, go for variety over everything else. Make sure that if you are, putting your AI twin in there, make sure that you're mixing in and around carousels and static images and reels so that when someone lands on your page, maybe you've got someone who really likes your AI twin content, they can see that, but then you also are hitting the people who like your carousels and your reels and all of those things too. And it just makes your feed look really nice and engaging when you've got variety in there. And again, in terms of time, setting up your AI twin, it's going to take about 10 minutes to do that. And then when you're generating posts, once your AI twin has been created, it's going to take more around 5 to 7 minutes. But again, you can navigate to other pages. You can generate other types of content. You can generate other AI twin posts while you're waiting for those to come in. Irma has kind of put together a little bit of a cheat sheet prompt for us. If you're in this room and you're like, okay, I haven't taken a headshot in years, or I only have one, ChatGPT actually is phenomenal for just doing an outfit change without changing your facial features or anything like that. So if you have one headshot and you want to make a different variation, you can also prompt ChatGPT, just drop it in there, give it a prompt like this. Can you take my headshot and give me another variation of it? And then prompt it, whether maybe it's a different hairstyle or a different outfit, that sort of thing. If you're stuck and you only have one look, but you still do want that variety in your content, again, you can get ChatGPT to just swap out your outfit if you want a little bit of extra help and you don't have additional headshots to use. So no pressure, no stress there. Okay, guys, I am going to take a peek at our questions. Okay, you guys have kept Nick busy, just kind of bumping into the bottom. Does this work with camera facing, talking videos? Also remind me criteria for, okay, good questions. Maybe Nick, what I'll do is I'll just maybe I'll bug you. Are there any questions that came up, like frequently asked questions that you think would be good to kind of cover off as a group here?
A lot of different questions, honestly.
Yeah,
A lot of questions about removing the hand gesture. So if you want to just highlight how to remove the hand gestures one more time.
totally.
Um, that one is getting asked a lot. We also have um
I'm sorry, I put you right on the spot here, and I know
yeah,
you probably answered a ton, but
no
that's
problem.
a good one. That's a really good one. So, and that comes up. I mean, if anyone's reached out to support before, you've probably talked to Nick or myself, but we do get that question in our inbox quite often, and you can absolutely control that. So again, create AI twin post. I'm just going to go through the flow super, super quick here, guys. So I'm going to choose my platform. I'm going to choose my article, and then I'm going to click to generate the script. I'm going to note this one more time, and I'm sorry if this is repetitive. This is a big one. Again, this is your opportunity to change the script portion, which is the voice component, to your AI twin post. So if you want to make changes, add a catchy tagline, swap out a word, do that here. Unfortunately, if you wait until your post has been generated, the only way to change your script is to start your post from scratch. So just wanted to mention that. And then in terms of your hand gestures, here in the choosing your twins look is where you can control that. So you have both looks if you have two uploaded, and then you have a toggle specifically for hand gestures. So I'm gonna I know this is a little hard to see. Maybe I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So you can see my AI twin preview. My hand gestures right now is toggled on. So this is going to be a very animated AI twin. She's going to talk with her hands, be very animated. But if you want to settle that down a little bit, just toggle it off. You can see that it crops it a little bit more. I'm going to let one more person in here. So you can see here, I've toggled hand gestures off and now it's cropped. There's still going to be movements in the shoulders. It's going to still look and feel natural, but you're not going to have those animated hands moving around. So right now, that's kind of your way of controlling hand gestures, again, through two settings. You've got the use of hand gestures if you're looking for kind of that animated look. And then, of course, you can toggle it off if you want more subtle movement in the shoulders, but not necessarily expressive speaking with hands. Okay, good stuff here, guys. Let's
A lot
see.
of questions also regarding voice, so like tone, how you sound, all that good stuff. I mean, my recommendation is just to try and re-record and be as concise as you can with your voice recording. If you are recording through the actual platform, you are going to be given a script to read off of. Typically, I think of around 30 to 35 seconds long. In addition to that, you can also record a longer voice note through your mobile device if that's something that you choose to do. That might be a better recommendation if you are looking to adjust your tone because you are recording a longer script through your phone. It'll have a little bit more information for the platform to kind of work off of. So that would be my personal recommendation if you do want to, make some changes to your tone or see if you can kind of spruce some things up.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. If you're looking for simplicity, doing it through the platform is probably going to get you your quickest result really easily. But if you do want to spend some time really perfecting your tone, your pitch, the inflection, you might want to use maybe a third-party voice recorder. There's even ones that you can kind of speak it out naturally, and then you can use the controls to slow it down, speed it up in certain ways as well. There's tons of free apps online. I would recommend first starting with just your basic recording through the platform. And if you're not 100% happy with it, then maybe we can explore some additional ways to really perfect the voice. And if you're struggling with it, of course, you can reach out to us at support at RealEstateContent.ai. And we can recommend some different tools that you can use to help kind of perfect that if you want to try the option of recording your voice. I know most phones these days, like Nick said, have the voice recording app. So you can even try that. And then again, there are some third-party tools online that you could use if you want to get a little bit deeper in like the fine tuning of the tone and the pitch and the speed and all of those good things. Okay. Okay, amazing. I noticed Jason and Wendy Mills, you guys had both mentioned that some of your topics were outdated. If you're running into that, if anyone on the call is running into that, if you could send us a screenshot of that, we would be happy to look into that for you. Your trending news articles that you're going to see in the Create AI Twin Post feature, those I think refresh every 24 hours. So you should see some really current articles in there. But again, if you're running into anything that's dated, just send us an email and we'll be happy to look into your account and make sure that those are pulling in articles the way they should be for you. Okay. Okay. So we had a question around pronunciation. Nick grabbed that one. I'll throw that one actually out here too. If there's anyone experiencing maybe your town or city not being pronounced properly, Nick's answering this question live in the chat right now as well. But if there's a town and the pronunciation's off, Nick and I are kind of managing like a pronunciation word bank on the back end. So just let us know what the city name is and how, it should be pronounced. We can look at that up as well. But we're managing a word bank on our back end just to make sure the pronunciations are right. You can also train your AI twin in your script as well. But again, if you're finding that that's not enough and it's still not quite hitting the perfect pronunciation, just send us an email, support@realestatecontent.ai, and we'll add that word or that city to the word bank and make sure that that's perfected for you on the back end. And Lisa, yes, absolutely. You can email us if you are having trouble finding the Create Market Report. If that's not showing up on your dashboard, you can totally email us. Good stuff, guys. Any other questions? I mean, we're at the end of today's session. If anyone has any last minute questions, I know there's been a ton of questions. You guys have kept Nick really, really busy this session. But feel free to either drop them in into the chat, or you can send us an email after, and we will absolutely get to your questions. Um, just throw that out there one more time. Okay. Can we use a PDF? Josh, this is a really, really good question. Right now, you can use a link or URL, not a PDF, but potentially something that we could look into in the future. Patricia, this is a good question too. Is it possible to have different people as your looks? Right now, your look does have to remain the one person. But again, something that we might continue to explore as we build out the features. So you can have two looks, they just have to be the same person. A couple questions around URL. So I'm going to show that one more time. That's one of my favorite features of this AI twin post. So I'm actually just going to back out entirely. When you're setting up your AI twin post, again, you're going to be presented with local articles from within your community. But if you have a URL, a really cool article that you've come across, or a blog, you can totally use your own URL. So after you select the days you want to create your content for, the platforms you want to create your post for, choose the or click next to choose your story. And at the very bottom of the list, that's where you're going to find that button. So you'll have this here, add your own URL/link, and that's where you can drop in your link. I have an article selected, so I'm going to unselect that. So as soon as you click that, you can drop in your URL here, and now it'll be added to your list of topics to choose from, and that's how you would use your URL. And Jason, thank you so much for hopping into Leonardo's question. That's actually a really, really good point. Nick and I have worked with a few users this week who have uploaded some really beautiful headshots that are just a super large file size. So we're working on the back end, just putting in an auto condense where it'll compress your file size. So if you do have a really big file size, either send it to us and Nick and I can compress it for you, or you can just literally never tell your photographer this, but just screenshot your headshot and that'll compress it down in size super, super easily as well. And then just upload your screenshot. If anyone is stuck, just let Nick and I know at support@RealEstateContent.ai. And we'll help you out either compressing it on the back end through us or walk you through that. Okay. And yes, Josh, right now, limit of 2 headshots. So you can have 2 different looks, 2 images. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy just dropped in a compressor that'll hold the quality. So your photographer, if you've got professional shots, would much prefer you use Wendy's link than the screenshot. But thank you so much for sharing that, Wendy. That's amazing. And again, we're going to be working on an auto compression in the back end, so stay tuned for that too. All right, my friends, amazing. Well, thank you again so much for all of your time this afternoon. This is great. We'll continue to touch on AI twins. URL for market updates for us Canadians. Yes, yes, you can use a URL for market updates for all of our Canadian users. Absolutely. But guys, we will continue to touch on AI twins. This is literally like very, very beginning iteration of our AI twins. We are so excited to see where this goes, where else we can bring AI twins into the platform. And again, we've been live for like 2.5 weeks, and the amount of feedback that we've already received has just been so incredible, so helpful. We are quite literally building this platform out, building all of these features based on the feedback that we get from you guys, because we want to make this as valuable as we can to complement your workflows. So if you guys have any other questions, any other feedback, please feel free to share it with us. We'll be kicking back off next week with a more traditional style advanced training. But of course, if there's any updates to the AI twin posts or that flow, we'll be sure to share that with you next week as well. Keep the feedback coming, guys. And again, we're so excited to see where we go with this. Amazing. Thanks again, guys. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and happy Friday.